Hello, friends, and welcome to the presentation on the topic Eating Redefined. When it comes to the weight loss journey, many people just think about what food items to eat and what not to eat. But, my dear friends, there are many other things that are also important other than the food items. So, in this presentation, I'm going to throw some light on what are that other things that also need to be considered when it comes to the eating related to the weight loss. So, let's start. So first understand why we eat and from which context we eat. Do we really eat when we hungry? Many a times or not. So let's understand why we eat. What are the different reasons? So first is we eat with a personal preferences. For example, if someone does not like green vegetables, he or she will not eat green leafy vegetables, right? So that is the personal preference. I do not like these food items, I will not eat that. Next is the we eat by habit. That is, I want, for example, I am habitual to eat a lot of thing in the morning. I i have a habit to skip the meal in the night. So it is some habit that we have continuing since so many years. So we eat it by habits. Then the body image. It is a general perception that the person who is very lean, thin, will not eat much. The person who has gained the weight, looks over obese, will eat more. So generally, we have created this body image. We eat by the emotions. When we are angry, when we are depressed, we tend to eat more. When we are happy, we tend to eat more than the regular quantity. So, generally, we found that we are not eating for the stomach, we are eating with some different context, even when the stomach is not feeling hungry. Now, with this concept, let's understand what is the purpose of food and why we should eat ideally. So, ideally, the food has to be taken or eaten to nourish the body, mind, and soul, and to provide the prana or the energy to the life. So, this is the whole purpose of the eating the food. Now, it has been found that in general we are overeating. So let's see what are the causes of overeating. So these are the some general causes that has been found. So first, as we have discussed just now, the emotional eating. The research has been done and it is proven that when the person is depressed, not in a good mood, stress, tend to eat more fats and the carbs, which gives a high amount of empty calories. Second overeating pattern is found the social eating pattern. That is, for example, the office parties, birthday parties, marriage parties, all kind of functions. Whether your stomach is empty or not, you keep eating the food because there is a the bouquet, the variety of the food in front of you, and that time one cannot resist himself or herself. So it's a social overeating. Boredom. Out of boredom, the people, it also has been researched that out of boredom people tend to eat generally the chips, the pastries, again a lot of high empty calories. So these are the patterns of overeating. Now it is said that loading the stomach when it is no capacity is a crime, is a crime. Now, let us understand the diet. So once you hear the word diet, you have the image in mind that cutting down on a food or not eating the food. When someone says, "Oh, I am on a diet," what image we have? Oh, she's not eating the food, right? So, my dear friends, diet is highly misunderstood word. And in general, there is no fault because due to the social media and the people around we see are following some kind of harsh, extreme or the fat diet like keto diet, zero protein diet, low carb diet. But even research has suggested that this kind of diet do not work. They are not sustainable diet. Now, the next question asked many a times is whether I should do exercise or diet only. So, my dear friends, again, I wanted to make it clear here that excess and diet are not two separate things. When one combines exercise and complement the diet, gets the good result. So, what you can say here is exercise and diet complements each other and they should go hand in hand. Now, with this understanding, now let us learn how to eat. Before going ahead, let me explain you the journey of food inside the body. Understand that the digestive system is one of the most complex system in the body, which involves the controlled functioning of many organs. But without making it too complex, leaving the technical terms aside, just explain, I will explain you a simple process of digestion here. Once you, the digestion starts from our mouth. Once you take the food into your mouth, you chew it, and then with the help of salivary glands, which secrete some enzymes, created bowel. That bowel is passed through the esophagus to the stomach. In the stomach, there are some acids, enzymes, and hormones which break down the food and mixes this everything and gets it ready for the further processing into the stomach. After the stomach, the broken food is passed to the small intestine where the assimilation happens. In the intestine, during the passage of the intestine, the liver, pancreas, and the gallbladder, they add bile, other digestive juices, and some hormones so that the further digestion and assimilation process happens well. Once the food enter into the small intestine, there the assimilation, that is the extraction of the nutrients from the food is done. Extraction of the nutrients, that is breaking the food into fats, proteins, carbs, micronutrients, different vitamins. And from here, these nutrients has been passed to each and every cell through the blood. Whatever is remaining from the small intestine, it is passed to the large intestine where the further extraction is done and water is secreted out of the food particles and it is passed for the further journey, and it's a waste because all the nutrients has been taken out. Now whatever is remaining is the waste, and that has been passed out of the body through the rectum in through the anus. So this is the path of your food. When you take the food into your mouth, it goes through all this GI tract and goes out from the anus. Now, let's go to the next slide. Now, generally, we think that how much we should eat. So, I would like to answer this question which is defined in the Ayurveda, with such a beautiful explanation. So, what Ayurveda suggests is the concept called as an amitahar. What does it say? So, let's say if your stomach has the capacity of 100%. So, according to the Ayurveda Mitahara concept, they say the food has to be 50% out of your whole capacity. That is half the stomach. Then remaining 25% has to be water, and remaining 25 is the empty or the space. So as you can see here, this is your stomach, which has to be loaded into the three parts. 50% your solid food, 25% liquid food, and remaining part should remain empty. Now, you may have a question that how I will know that, well, is there any measuring tape? So, friends, no, there is no measuring tape that you can say 50%, 25%, and next 25%. But understand that if you follow the mindful eating, you on your own will come to know that you're following the Mitahar concept. Let's understand then what are the sign of right quantity of the food. Now, on which parameter you will say, oh, I have a right quantity of food. So there are some few parameters that you can judge on. The first thing is feeling satisfied. That is, after having your food, you feel satisfied from inside, happy inside. Next is you're not feeling heavy, not feeling bulky. You're feeling lighter though you had your lunch or a dinner. You will able to eat, breathe easily. You will able to walk and talk easily. Next, your senses remains sharp. That is, you don't feel dizzy, sleepy, lethargic. So if you found these symptoms after having a dinner or a lunch, you can say that you had a right amount of food, that you have followed the Mitahar principle. Then, here I would like to introduce the concept of mindful eating, which will helpful for you throughout your life to maintain your healthy weight. Not only that, to maintain a good healthy life. So what is mindful eating? So mindful eating is eating with all your senses, engaging all your senses. That is, when you are eating only. That is, see, Ayurveda says that when you are eating, it is not just you are churning the food. You eat by all your senses. That is, your tongue tests your food. Through your nose, your eyes, your ears, you see, smell, and feel the food, the texture, the color, the smell. And through your skin, through your fingers, when you touch your fingers to the food, you have the feeling that you are eating in the right way. So this is what is the mindful eating. Eating, engaging all the senses. When you eat this way, you can never overeat, and this is called as a mindful eating. Now, to cut it down, let's see some super eating hacks, very easy to follow and very efficient, will give the results. First, eat enough. That is not more, not less. That is, follow the Beta Hut principle. In general, we should consume 2 major and 3 minor meals. Next, eat at fixed timings. It's very important because your body is ready to digest the food at your fixed timings. Eat with a proper frame of mind. That's very essential because you know now when the person is depressed or even very anxiety happy tend to eat more or less. So while eating, have a proper frame of mind, that is happy mood. Then eat in a pleasant environment. Avoid to eat when you are stressed, you are depressed. No, avoid to eat. Take your time to chew your food longer. The more longer you will chew your food, it will be easier for stomach to digest the food. Your digestion will improve the more you chew your food. Do not eat on a run or in front of the screen. This should be avoided because in general, this tends to overeat. Always consider your age, type of food, season, and type when you eat. It is not that throughout the year you are following same eating pattern, same food items. So this everything has to be considered when you eat your food. Now to summarize this, there is nothing like no good food, bad food that we keep labeling on. Everything that you eat at right time and in the right quantity is good for you. So now onwards, eat right, have a moderate exercise, and most importantly, think right about yourself because hormones are also playing a very important role in the digestion process. Love what you eat. Thank you for your patience listening.